right, folks. Great afternoon, great evening, y'all. Y'all see me. I'm cutting it short today. How are you doing? It's Sunday. It's Sunday, and it's been such a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Do y'all remember Mr. Rogers? Right? Do y'all remember that show? I just used to love Mr. Rogers, right? It's been a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and we hope the same has been the same. That has been the same for you. Go ahead and do us a favor. You guys know how we do this. Welcome to the Boss Tribe, and welcome to our 33rd episode of Boss Moves. We are so elated that you decided to join us tonight. You know, anytime we're together, we're here for a good time, not a long time. So buckle up and let's get this party started. Go ahead. You know how we do, what we do. Drop a hello, tell us where you're from, hit that like button, hit the share button so we are all sharing the good stuff that's happening or that can and will happen in our schools as we finish out the school year. So tell me, let's get it started. What's in your cup and what's been a win for you this week? I will share. Y'all, I was out of some of my favorite tea is the African nectar tea by Mighty Leaf, and I had been out for a while, and I got me some more. Super excited. So that is what is in my cup, always with organic honey, right? If I have some at all, and this does not normally need it, but I put some in there today. So that's what's in my cup. A win, sharing a win for y'all from my week, y'all, my baby, and. So we're friends, right? We're gold friends. We're boss tribe. Why did y'all not tell me that when your baby hits secondary sports, you get a little extra stress? Tyler has been playing sports competitively for a very long time, so it's nothing new. But I did not anticipate when it was time for him to try out for middle school sports that I would just, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. And so finally, right, we got the results back from soccer, middle school tryouts, and y'all, my baby made the team. And so that is my win for this past week. Hey, Queen, I'm so excited to have you. You are such a major supporter, and we truly appreciate that. What's been a win for you this week? Again, what's in your cup? What are you drinking this evening? And what's been a win for you this week? Go ahead and drop those in. We always love to know where you are joining us from, but we're going to get this party started. Tonight, we are talking about this topic of, if you are a teacher this time of year, if you are not a teacher, if you're a leader, if you're a community member, if you're a parent, like we all feel the stress of trying to finish out this school year. And so tonight we're talking about this topic of, today is May the 4th, right? Oh, Star Wars fan, right? It's May the Force be with you. Can I tell you, we are the force as it relates to school success and school community. It's not just one person, y'all. Teachers cannot do it alone. The principal can't do it alone. Like the parents can't do it. It takes every single one of us to end the school year sane, safe, and successfully, right? And so let's talk about that. Let's talk about what are we all collectively doing, and then what can we individually do so that it has a combined collective effect so that our babies are walking into the school knowing that, no school is not over yet. Yes, there is still some more learning that should be taking place. And no, it's not time to just party. We still are about the business of teaching and learning and leading, right? And so that does not need to necessarily be that's not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing. And so how do we move in such a way that students are not dreading to come to school right now? That is what we are talking about tonight. And so let's go ahead and get the party started. Hey, Mr. Wilburn, y'all, he's a phenomenal educator coming out of Texas, out of Houston, Texas, right? We love when we have our male educators joining us. But here we go. Let's jump right on in tonight. And you guys know what Boss Move stands for. It stands for us being bold, optimistic, spontaneous, and substantial. Here we go. Our first point of reflection. If you have my book, Boss Moves, at the end of each chapter, I have some powerful reflection questions around that chapter, right? And so tonight's episode, Live Boss Moves, we're structuring it in that way, in some questions in the form of reflection question. And so this first question that I want all of us to ask ourselves tonight is, as it relates to finishing the year strong, does our behavior in the halls match the banners on the wall, right? Does our behavior in the halls match the banners on the wall? But can I be honest, before we get to the halls, we got to start with, how did we wake up that morning? So if you're the educator, like, what are you doing? And drop it in the chat for me. How do you get yourself pumped up before you walk into the school? because we're going to be honest. It's spring fever, right? Spring has sprung. People are tired. You're tired. The students are tired, right? There are a lot of things happening during this time of the year, right? State assessments, graduation, awards programs, all of that stuff. Oh my, right? And we still, if we're honest, if we're looking at our data, 100% of our students have not mastered all standards. So we're looking at these things. So we know that we still have work to do. So the question is, how are you daily pumping up yourself so that you're walking in positive and ready to do the work? Because y'all know what I'm going to say. Energy is contagious. Your energy is absolutely contagious. And so the question is, how are you walking in such a way that you are encouraging and empowering others before you say a word? Right? How are you doing that? As if you're the teacher, if you're the leader. And I'm talking to my parents now. This is a real question. How are you sending your baby out the door? How are you sending your baby out the door? Mama confession. And I've said this before. I remember one day, it probably was about 3 maybe years ago. Tyler typically gets up in the morning. He's typically rolling. He's typically excited to go to school. He's getting older now, which he still does a really good job of that. But, younger, we really didn't have those days where he was struggling. This was one particular day that he was struggling. And I remember before he got out the car rider line, we were in the car rider line. I'm fussing. I'm letting him have it. Y'all, and the last thing I seen before he was getting out the door was a little tear dropping, right? And I pulled off, y'all, and I feel so horrible because I'm thinking, now at this time, I'm an administrator. And I just sent my baby into school with some other educators, and he clearly is upset, right? I did that, right? Did he need to be addressed? Yes. But was it the perfect time to do it? Was it the perfect method? Did I use the right words? And so we've just got to constantly be reflecting. How are we sending our children to school, right? And let's say you're the bus driver. Y'all, I happen to see, I don't know if y'all seen it, it's a viral video. This bus driver was, he was slanging. I'm saying country. He was slanging them children left and right. I would love to see what happened prior to that, right? But regardless of your position, how are you positioning yourself that you are giving off positive energy, that you are giving off encouraging energy, that yeah, we're about the business, but that doesn't mean I love you or care any less. And so just remembering that we're talking about personal culture. All of this tonight truly is, y'all know my specialty is culture. It's around the culture of the school, but we've got to acknowledge that our personal culture drastically influences our school culture. Your personal culture dictates what your classroom culture is about. So it's critically important that every morning, how are you setting yourself up, right? I see him. He said, you know what? I'm listening to a good word on the way to school or some worship music. I got an old college classmate. I kid you not. She loves to listen to rap music, like old school Nuck If You Buck. She says that gets her pumped up to go in the day, to conquer it, and in such a way that she knows that she's having impact. And so that question is, okay, now we're setting ourselves up, but this time of the year, y'all, so many things can happen that adults in the building can say, all hands off deck. Don't worry about it. Just do what you want to do, right? Kids are wild. I want to ask us, what do you have in your walls posted? Is it your vision statement? Is it your PBIS matrix? And so every day it's a good reminder for you to ask yourself, like, am I walking the talk? Am I walking the talk? Something else that I want to say to you, if you're a parent, come up with a quick saying. It might be something like, stay strong, right? Stay out of trouble and finish successfully. Like, come up with something that's super short that you can say to your student every day. If you know you got the babies, you run a donut shop, or the barber shop, whatever type of shop. We all need to be saying to our scholars every single day that we have high expectations for them all the way through, all the way out the door, right? So it's critically important that they don't just hear it from one place. They need to hear it from everywhere. And because ultimately, we do want to make sure that the behavior in the halls are matching the banners on the wall. And we have the power to do that, but it's going to take all of us, because we know. And listen, in some situations, for example, I was working with a parent 2 weeks ago who literally had just found out her baby was not going to graduate, right? Baby is saying, I'm not going back up to that school. They said I can't graduate. I got to go to summer school. I'm done for the year, right? Because nothing could be done. I'm done. How are we positioning babies who are having to press through struggling moments, right? Who are having to press through defeat right now because all of our students are not feeling good for one reason or another. Are you using your words to lift, right? Y'all know chapter 11. Language that lifts. How are you pouring into those babies because they need that right now so that the behavior in the walls, in the halls, can match the banners on the wall. And remember these three things, y'all. ABCs, drop it in the chat. What are our ABCs? Do you guys remember? We talked about that a while back, but the ABCs is attendance. All right. Attendance, B is behavior, and then C is course performance. Every single day, we still need to be keeping our eyes on attendance, on behavior, and course performances because at the end of the day, with course performance, regardless if you're done with state assessments or not, we know that there is still learning that should be taking place. And remember that learning does not have to look like it's looked all year. It's a phenomenal time of the year to play with project-based learning, right? To take the learning outside of the walls of the school. But again, we've got the power to make that happen all the way on through. Reflection question 2. Are we putting in as much effort to celebrate, cheer, coach, care as we are to criticize? And I'm saying this as a collective school community, right? Because right now things can go haywire really fast. You've heard me say this before from a psychology standpoint of view. As the weather, as the temps warm up, so do aggressive behaviors. That's not just what I think. Psychology has proven that time and time again, that so many things in the elements have impact on our behavior and on our response, right? And so I don't know about y'all, but it's like 82 degrees outside right now. It's getting warm. It's warming up. And so we know that people's temper, right? Shorter, right? Behavior is a lot more aggressive this time of the year. So let me say this. We are so quick to say, oh, that child is bad. Oh, that teacher was out of order. Oh, that dot, dot, dot. But I want to ask us, are we collectively as a school, what are we doing right now to put that same level of effort to celebrate what is going well, to coach students through the end, right? Through the end. This is a phenomenal time of the year to solidify positive experiences for your students. It's a phenomenal time to lean in to some of those SEL lessons because we know they absolutely positively need it. So what are we doing? I love this. She says, you know what? To be honest, what you radiate, you attract. So what are you radiating? And listen, it takes every day, all day to get your mind right. Drop that in the chat. I gotta get my mind right to operate in excellence, right? Through the end of the year. It requires that because it's been a tough year. I mean, I'm being honest. Y'all know that I am an optimist to my core, but that does not mean that I'm not also a realist. So the real deal is that it is tough. It is tough, but I am here to remind you that you've got exactly what you need and your team does as well, right? We have to press the gas collectively to get this thing done. But again, make sure it's easy to sit back and criticize. You think I'm lying? Go to social media, just click on a negative video. I mean, we respond to foolishness, right? And people are quick to say negative things quickly about others, but we are not so quick to celebrate. We are not so quick to affirm. And again, that's human nature often. You got to train yourself, train your eyes to see the good in everybody. And you can do that. It takes time. It's a muscle, but you can make it happen. So this time of the year, don't fall in the trap of saying these kids are out of control, they're bad, there's nothing we can do about them. Because there is so much power in your words. You keep saying a thing long enough, it's going to become your reality. And so many times of the year, this time of year, y'all, we speak it into existence. We do. We speak the chaos. Sometimes we're like, how many fights we have in this week? Why are we anticipating, right? Instead of putting out positive things, because you will be amazed. I promise you, your babies are listening. I'm a middle school educator, true and true. And so often this time you think, oh, these kids, they lost their minds. They're not listening. They're not listening. I assure you, they are listening. There are kids that I had in my care, listen, decades ago, that can tell you right now, they can hear some of the words that we were saying to them. And we all know this, right? I'm an old lady now, but I can hear my teachers in my ear, some of the things that they would say to me. So you got to know that even when it seems like they are not listening and it seems like they aren't paying attention, they truly are. So let's be careful. Let's be intentional. Y'all dropped it in the chat. Intentional. We've got to be super duper intentional this time of the year and making sure that we use our words carefully. Right. This time of the year, parents can, I'm a parent, right? Stuff this time of the year was, as a parent, sometimes y'all, we can be on edge too. Let's be honest. So we've got to make sure that in the process of us providing discipline and structure to our children, right? That we are not just beating them up over the head. We got to remember that as adults, we play back the things that people said to us when we were young. Psychology proves it. What we hear often is what were you told as a child, right? And so long term thinking legacy, what's going to be the replay in their mind of the things that they heard you say when they were struggling or when things were tough or when you were stressed out, right? So keeping that in mind. I love this. What you think about is what you bring into existence. Absolutely. Our words are powerful. Here we go. Number 3. Am I using my unique gifts to help get us over? Like, that's country talk. Get us over this last leg. And so I want to challenge you to think, what are you good at? I don't care if you're a parent. I don't care if you're a leader, you're a teacher, you're the pastor in the community. What is your unique gift? Drop that in the chat right now. What is something that, you know what? I know I'm good at this. I know I am. Matter of fact, I know I'm so good that it's not just good, it's a gift. Drop that in the chat right now. Think through that. What is your unique gift that you have? Some of you are so amazing with your hands. You're so crafty. Somebody can tell you something they'd like to see, and you can immediately bring that thing into physical reality. So you're that good. Some of you are great with written expression. Some of you are amazing with de-escalating angry parents. What are you uniquely gifted at? And I want to ask you, and I want to challenge you for the next 30 days or to finish it out your school year, daily use that. Like, how did I use my gift today to help this environment be a successful, strong environment for students to thrive in down through the last day of school? So again, am I using my unique gifts to help get us over this last leg? Drop it in the chat for me. I want to hear it. Y'all know I love y'all and I love to celebrate you. And in the meantime, make sure you've liked this video and shared it. But again, what is your unique gift? What is it? And I need you to know that you need to, right? I'm challenging you. You need to use that unique gift daily to help get you and your team through this last leg of the school race. We're down to the final wire, right? We're passing the baton. You're the last person. You're it. So the baton is in your hand and you got to run with it. What's that gift that's wrapped up in that baton? What is it? Drop it in the chat. What's your unique gift? I want to challenge you, whatever that thing is, make sure that you are daily using it. It doesn't have to be in a major way, but every single day, how did I use my unique gift to help somebody in this environment thrive? Did I help somebody help lift their head? Did I encourage somebody, right? Did I challenge somebody to show up the best version of themselves through your unique gift, right? And if you're doing it through your unique gift, y'all, it doesn't always feel like heavy lifting. And so because this time of the year it already feels stressful. You already feel like, okay, there are a lot of things on my plate. But when we operate in our unique gift, right, for the most part, it comes easy to you, right? It's second nature. As a matter of fact, most of us enjoy utilizing our gifts. And so that's the reason why I say use that, right? I'm not saying do anything extra, but what are you already good at? And some of you are so good at some things that nobody has a clue about. It's okay. Bring them out, right? It's a fantastic time to bring that thing out at this time, right? Here we go. On to the next. Are we ending the year with a brilliant bang? Are we ending with a brilliant bang? What am I talking about when I'm saying a brilliant bang? I want you to know that this time of the year, we are doing one or two things. We are solidifying positive experiences associated with schools, or we are creating negative impact that will be long lasting. Let me say that again. This time of the year, we're doing one or two things. We're solidifying or cementing, right? Positive experience with your school, with your class, right? With your organization, or we are cultivating negativity that will be long lasting. And the way that our brains work, y'all know we love to hold on to something negative. Let's say you've had a phenomenal school year. Parents had a phenomenal school year. But here we go down to May, and the baby, for whatever reason, could not participate with field day, right? They didn't make their AR goal or something like that. And if you don't handle that the right way, that last negative experience will be what the parent and the student walk away with, right? And so just being really, really intentional about what's the bang. I'm talking about, y'all know, in one of these chapters of the book, y'all, sorry, it went blank. But I talk about the E trifecta. The E trifecta in turning schools around and creating positive culture is experiences, exposure, and expectations, right? Experiences, exposure, and expectation. And this is a phenomenal time of the year to solidify all three of those things through how you end the year. What am I talking about? I'm talking about, are we doing project-based learning? I'm talking about, are we doing SEL workshops, right? This time of the year is phenomenal, right? Because they're finishing up state tests. They're tired, right? They don't want to sit in the desk for 90 minutes watching or listening to you talk. They don't. You don't either, right? If we're honest. So we should do some things that are different that still have a heavy instructional, a heavy social, emotional weight value to it, right? So this time of the year is phenomenal to do things like etiquette teas with your girls. Do they need to learn a few manners? Right? Or with your boys to men mentoring programs, little workshops like that. Lunch with leaders. Because remember, it takes a village. Maybe you're bringing in your mayor and your community leaders to have lunch with your youth council in your building, right? Or your student government association. It's a phenomenal time to end the year with a bang, right? With positive learning experiences that are not just academically related, right? But that have major impact. Because we know if students are motivated, if they are motivated, it sticks. I saw another viral video yesterday of, I'm a Tougaloo College grad. One of their professors, Professor Jason Gibson. This was his student who posted talking about solidifying positive experiences. You've got this kind of impact. Basically, the student was in his class his sophomore year. He said, that was the best class he ever had. The teacher was amazing. The professor was amazing. He said the professor was in an organization that he wanted to join, a fraternity that he wanted to join. And he told him, well, when I join, will you do a little hopping or whatever, strutting with me? And the professor told him, I'm past that. I'm too old. I don't do that anymore. And said that he kept on asking him, and the professor said to him, well, when you graduate. He said, when you graduate, let's do it. And this young man said how that just pushed him. That one thing pushed him. The video was the two of them. He had just been cleared to graduate. And it was the two of them doing the alpha like they were in the line. So I need you to know this is a phenomenal time of the year for you to do that. And you know what he said? He's my forever mentor now. Like I appreciate him for pouring into me, for loving me, for sticking with me. Y'all, this is the time of the year that we need to, again, solidify and cement those positive experiences that will go beyond your life. Y'all know what the last S stands for, right? There. The last S, it stands for substantial. It's about legacy. Are you leaving people better than you found them? And leaving people means, this sounds more, but I am going to not be here one day, right? Am I leaving people with something that's going to help them along their way, even when I'm not here? And so this time of year is phenomenal. But don't throw your hands up, educators, and say, I'm sick of these kids. I'm tired of them. I get it, right? As parents, don't say, I'm tired. I busted them all year about doing homework. No, this is the time of the year to lean in because we are solidifying. I cannot say it enough. Solidifying the positive experiences. And so psychology tells us if there is no positive association with the place, we develop an aversion for it. Let me say that again. I'm bringing out my psychology background. If there is no positive or very little positive association with a place, with a person, with a practice, with a program, if there is very little positive association, emotion, we create an aversion for it. Hashtag, we don't want to go there. Hashtag, we don't want to do that. And so you've got to know what you are doing right now to end the year is going to help dictate how people feel when it's time to start the year. You've got that kind of power as a leader, as an educator leader, right? As a teacher, and even as a parent, because I don't know about y'all, but y'all, I want my baby to feel good about school. I want him to go. I want him to love his teachers. I want that for him. And since I want that for him, I have to help create conditions that's what's happening, right? And so for that to happen, so keeping that in mind. And so that was about, are we ending the year with a brilliant bang? And then this last one is so critically important. Drop this in the chat with me. Am I communicating enough? And communication, y'all, is not a one-way thing. So I'm not saying just as the principal, are you communicating with your teachers enough? As a teacher, are you communicating with your parents enough? Parents, are you communicating with your students enough? I'm talking about all of us. This time of the year, if you normally send out one correspondence and say to parents, hey, this is what you need for the end of the year, send out 10. And that is not an exaggeration. Y'all, I am an educator with a child. And on this side of the fence, I'm like, Tyler, I know those people sent their paper home. Where is it? Oh yeah, I meant to give it to you yesterday. Or I meant to like, what? So I can assure you that sometimes as educators, we feel like, oh, well, parents didn't get it or they didn't care, right? Not that they didn't get it, they got it and they did not care, or they got it and they're too busy. But I can honestly say sometimes, y'all, they don't get it. And so we've got to make sure that we are not just communicating, but we are over communicating. Research in marketing shares that for the most part, when you think you have said something a lot of times, people are just now starting to pay attention to it, right? So you need to repeat it in multiple methods, right? Not just in paper. Can you send out an email, right? You got the digital email. Can I send a voice message? Can I post to social media? Like, can we get the helicopter to spell it out in the smoke? This time of the year is critically important that we are all on one accord. And we cannot be on one accord if people are wondering, when is the awards day program? Right? Or parents are wondering, do I need to drop the laptop back off today, or do we keep it over the summer? Right? Or the parents, it's just, I cannot say it enough. And sometimes, y'all, drop this in the chat. Sometimes we think, well, I said it one time. I want to ask you, is that your ego or are you about impact? Okay. The thing about this time of the year, because you can feel like, am I a nobody? If you're an educational leader, you be like, I know, am I crazy? Did I say it? I know I said. Check your ego this time. And for all of us this time of the year, because it's so stressful, I want to challenge you to check your ego and say, is it about ego or is it about impact? And if it is about impact, I want to always do my due diligence to make sure that I am not just communicating, but I am communicating in a way that is extremely clear, because we know that clear is kind, right? And so we want to end the year in a kind, powerful, positive, successful manner. We hope that something was said tonight, and go ahead and drop it in the chat. What's your one takeaway? And I cannot say it enough. Y'all know today, May the 4th be with you comes from Star Wars, right? And I got to tell you, together, we are the rebellion. We are the rebellion, and we're winning the battle for learning. We're winning the battle for legacy. And I tell you, we all looking around at our communities and we're saying, oh my goodness, what's happening to our community? You know, the violence, the drugs, the dysfunctional family. Like, we are the solution for that. The collective school community, this collective body, we are the solution for that. And so I want you to keep in mind that right now is a phenomenal time of year for us to make positive impact, in our schools and in our community. And you're the right person to activate your unique gift. And so what's your one takeaway from tonight? Drop that in the chat. Listen, I hope, y'all, we're down to the final wire with Boss Retreat tickets. There's a QR code right there, and I'll also drop it in the chat. Make sure that if you can, and you know that it's time for you to shift, it's time for you to elevate, it's time for you to strengthen, right, your heart, your soul, so that you can be better equipped to do the work that your purpose work. Join us in New Orleans. We're going to have a phenomenal time celebrating you, but we're also going to have a phenomenal time equipping and empowering you to step away a bolder, more optimistic, a more spontaneous, and a more substantial version of yourself, because we know that that's absolutely what's needed for us as we shift into this second part of the school year. Also, it's been my absolute pleasure to be of service to so many schools and school districts. This is a phenomenal time of the year for you to be strategically planning, to strategically set up your school, your system for next level success. So right now is phenomenal strategic planning time. May, June, June, we're pressing the gas. And so also keep in mind that if you're ready to lock in your opening keynote, your opening professional development, your leadership retreats, and y'all, even like this week, I have 2 leadership academies that we're rounding out, we're finishing out this year. So you're ready to do that. Even the new teacher orientation academies, we do all those things. So reach out to us because we truly, truly want to be of service to you. There's something about people that are saying we're ready for better. We're ready for different. And sometimes it's not like it's different, right? Thinking differently about what's already in your hands. It's not about you buying a new program. It's about how do we use what we already have to cultivate a thriving, successful culture that creates great, amazing student achievement, right? Results. And so that's what this thing is all about. I see you. Don't allow your ego to get in the way. Leave that thing outside the door. Y'all drop it in the chat for me. It's time for all of us to walk into this week and make some boss moves. Remember, it's always my pleasure to spend just a few minutes with you. We hope something was said, one little nugget that you can walk away with. And if not, I just want to tell you, be encouraged. I cannot say it enough. Be encouraged. You're the right person at the right time for this special mission. This is a special mission. Ending the school year successfully. It's a very special mission, but you're the person. We are wishing you guys the most amazing week. And listen, if you need anything, send us a DM, send us an email. We are cheering you guys on. Y'all go be boss. Make it a phenomenal week and go be boss.